I've got it all, and I'm getting more, but I never fall, beat them all, 'cause you know I'm so humble. I'm so humble. I'm so humble. I'm so humble. I'm a superstar.
What's going on, people? It's the Xbot 448, and today's video I want to tackle the topic of quote-unquote Xbox needs to do more. I'm not calling this a movement, by the way, but there is a few people out there on social media that started talking about how Xbox needs to do more. I've seen a couple YouTubers talking about a divide within the Xbox gaming community and all sorts of good stuff, and I figured it's about time to tackle this issue. So let's get into it. First of all, I do want to say that there's a couple people within this topic, the whole Xbox needs to do more thing, that I'm cool with, I respect, and I'm making this video to try to really get it out there that I think these guys really need to clarify what they're saying. I think I know what they're saying, but of course when it comes to social media, people just kind of take something and run with it. Before you know it, it kind of gets twisted, all that good stuff. And I just really feel like there needs to be some clarification here. Now, when it comes to Xbox needs to do more, they're saying basically Xbox needs to come out with more games. I don't think they're necessarily looking at the quality of the games, so let's kind of look at this from the beginning of the generation. Now, when Xbox came out at launch, I'm just going to throw a few games out here that came out within like the last 3 years, alright? We had Crimson Dragon, we had Loco Cycle, we had Max the Curse of Brotherhood, we had Rise Son of Rome, we had Ori and the Blind Forest, we had Scream Ride, we've had a bunch of games that have come out, new IPs, stuff like that have come out since the beginning of this generation on Xbox One. So when you say Xbox needs to do more with games, I'm not necessarily seeing that. I mean, if you look at 2017, we have Sea of Thieves coming out, which is basically, to me, is a new type of game. I can't see like a previous game, a game that has come out before. I can't see somebody pointing to that game and being like, well, Sea of Thieves is like that game. Like, to me, this is a brand new type of game. It's something I'm very excited for. We have Scalebound coming out in 2017. Now, Scalebound is kind of like your Japanese hack and slash, beat 'em up, with a customizable dragon, a customizable character, online co-op. Huge monsters to fight and defeat. It's another game I'm really excited for. And then we have Crackdown 3 coming out as well. Now the thing with Crackdown 3, I know it's a sequel, but it is going to be using the cloud in such a way that has never been seen in video games before. We're going to have this online multiplayer city with complete destruction, and the destruction doesn't disappear. You can actually use whatever debris happens when you're blowing up a building and stuff like that. You can like take a piece of a wall that you just blew off and you could throw it at somebody. It's something that really hasn't been seen in video games. So when people are saying Xbox needs to do more, look at, like, we have a brand new type of game coming out next year. We have something that's never really been done in video games coming out next year, using the cloud in such a way for online multiplayer. We've had a bunch of new IPs come out since the beginning of this generation. Now, they can argue whether or not people have bought those IPs and stuff like that, but I'm not really getting into that argument right now. It's basically, Xbox quote unquote needs to do more. Now the thing is, if people that are saying Xbox needs to do more are thinking about one particular category, which is what I think they're talking about. They're talking about JRPGs, Japanese role-playing games, which, that category could be considered lacking on Xbox. I mean, we have Final Fantasy 15 right now. Xbox, has worked hard to get the next Kingdom Hearts onto the Xbox platform, which is a huge deal. I know there's a lot of people excited for that, but all in all, not a lot of JRPGs this year on the Xbox platform. But if that's the case, please don't be so vague and just say Xbox needs to do more. Be a little more specific here and say exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the JRPGs. That's all well and good. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not trying to shut anybody up here. Like, I believe in freedom of speech. I just wish there was a little more clarification as to what you're talking about. Because if you just generalize it and say Xbox needs to do more, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, if you look at what they've done with the Xbox platform as a whole, they came out with the Xbox Preview program, which listens to feedback from the gamers who are playing on that platform. And they were basically the first ones to do that on console. I know PlayStation has followed suit later on, but Xbox did that first, and they're updating that whole program to the Insider program, and they're really fleshing out and doing more with gamer feedback, consumer feedback. If you look at what they've done with the Xbox user interface or the UI, if you see how dramatically that's changed from the beginning of the generation until now, that's all thanks to gamer feedback, consumer feedback. And it really seems like Xbox is taking that extra step, for the gamers, to listen to the gamers, to listen to what everybody is talking about and stuff. So with that fact in mind, I would really like for people to be a little more specific, and not just be like, well, Xbox needs to do more. And the reason why I say that is, I feel like Phil Spencer, the Xbox division, they have done so much already in just these 3 years that when you just say they need to do more, it takes away from what they have done so far. I just gave you a whole list of stuff. I gave you games. I gave you, a gamer feedback or consumer feedback program. I gave you, what they've done with the user interface so far. And it's a lot. They have done a lot. And I didn't even talk about them making the system backwards compatible, where you could play 360 games on your Xbox One. Of course, they're adding in more and more backwards compatible games month to month. I think we have like around 300 there, either a little over, maybe a little under, but we have around 300 360 titles that we can play on our Xbox One. I mean, if you compare that to other platforms, you have PlayStation, which basically has a subscription service, no matter, for backwards compatibility. So no matter if you had that game on the PS3 or whatnot, you're still paying for it again. All right, so in that case, I think PlayStation needs to do more, if you think about it, and stop trying to really get thoroughly money hungry on certain situations. But that's just my opinion. I think all in all, like, it is a really good generation to be an Xbox gamer. I know it had a really rough start, and I know hardware sales, all that good stuff. But when you think about it and you look at it, the attach rate on the Xbox is phenomenal. You have like the staples, the foundation franchises that are selling well on Xbox, and I know a lot of people complain about that as well. They're like, Xbox is only, Halo Gears and Forza, But when you look at the community, the Halo community, the Gears community, even the Forza community, these games sell, and these games are well known. And why wouldn't you have sequels to these like franchises? I mean, they're doing well. It's like saying, why would you stop making a game that's selling well? You see what I'm saying? It's not until it starts to dip that it's like, oh my goodness, there's a chance we might not make this anymore. And it's not like that's all they're coming out with, because like I said, there are a bunch of new IPs that I have just talked about, and I just don't see the Xbox needs to do more. If you're talking about JRPGs, yeah, that could be an issue. But if that is your issue, if it's about Japanese role-playing games, please get on social media and start talking about how Square is ignoring the Xbox gamer when it comes to the anniversary of Final Fantasy in 2017. All those anniversary bundles that they're doing with all the old Final Fantasy games, from what I've seen, none of them are coming to Xbox. Now, granted, I don't know the business side of this with Square talking to Xbox and stuff like that, but let it be known, because that's over 10 Final Fantasy titles that are coming out in 2017, and from what I see, it's only coming out on PS4. And that's the old school NES games as well. So I don't see how those aren't coming to Xbox. You know what I'm saying? And if you're really into JRPGs, that's something that you should definitely talk about as well. I'm not trying to dictate what you say, guys. I'm just trying to clarify. I'm trying to get it more specific because, if you just start saying Xbox needs to do more, I don't really think you have a leg to stand on. Pretty much within what I know about this generation, you don't have a leg to stand on. And that's with all due respect, guys. But all in all, that's my video for today. Guys, as usual, definitely hit up the comment section. I want to know what you feel about this topic, how Xbox needs to do more. Do you see what I'm saying? I think they have done a lot already. They are planning for more in the near future into, the absolute future. And I'm really excited to be an Xbox gamer right now. I have a huge backlog of games. I'm playing games in like a 7-game rotation. It's just really good to be an Xbox gamer right now. So definitely hit up that comment section. I want to know what you think about this topic, about people going out into social media and saying that they really need to do more. I think it's specific to the JRPG category, and let me know what you think about that as well. But if you like the video, you like the topic, definitely give that thumbs up button for me. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. But as for now, this is the Xbot 448, and I am definitely signing off.